Video game board games are not the highest quality of board game every single time. As someone who's obsessed with video games, I've been playing video games my whole life, and I'm only more so recently in the board game space, more so the past 3 years or so. I know that not every single video game board game is as great as the average board game, but some of these IP-based games actually stand out way more than your average board game, or even some of the top board games. Today, I'm gonna tell you 3 board games that stand above almost every other board game for me, and they're definitely in my top 20, if not my top 10. Starting off with a game that I got the base game at Gen Con and the expansion a month before that, we're talking about The Binding of Isaac. 4 Souls. Binding of Isaac is a classic video game that has its own cult following. It is not necessarily one of the most popular games of all time, but it is a pretty popular game in its own regard. And the board game of it, I heard great things about. And whenever I read the rules, I thought, this is like Steve Jackson's Munchkin, but more streamlined. My issue with Munchkin, even though it's one of my favorite board games of all time, I own at least 9 different editions of that game, including all the Marvel, X-Men, Disney, all these other versions of Munchkin. I don't like how much luck is involved in that game and how literally 1 or 2 cards can determine who's gonna win the game, essentially. This game, it's not that it doesn't have that, it just has, seems like it has much less luck, and the game ends in a different manner. In Munchkin, whoever hits level 10 is whoever wins the game. This game, Binding of Isaac, whoever gets 4 souls first will win. And unlike Munchkin, there are multiple different official ways to play this game. For instance, there's a co-op mode in this game, there is a single player mode to this game, and there are just a few other different modes you can actually go along with this game. I have the game, which is the base game is a fantastic game. The Requiem expansion does set it out higher than you would think it would, but some expansions are like that in board games. But moving forward, The Binding of Isaac really is one of the greatest IP video game board games I've played. Next up, let's talk about one of my wife's favorite board games right now, Bloodborne. Bloodborne, the card game specifically, really is a great game. The Bloodborne video game is one of my favorite modern video games I've played in the past 10 years. Eric Lang, as you guys might know, makes some amazing games, and he did not sell short with this Bloodborne game. This Bloodborne game really is worth the hype. I've not been able to find the expansion yet, but the base game alone is fantastic, and regardless, it is a great game. It plays differently every time you play. You can go with items, you can go with ranged weapons, you can go with melee weapons. It really does depend on the people playing around you. And a game that changes that much just because of whoever's around you really has a large amount of replayability and creates unique experiences for every group. The Bloodborne card game may not have the best reviews, but try it for yourself before you knock it. This game stands alone, and I'm glad to see Command Games work with Eric to make this game. The last game I was able to try at Gen Con, and sadly I don't have a copy of it, but I should be expecting one soon. It is the Borderlands Mr. Torch Arena. That game is more so a campaign-based game, but I played it a few times at Gen Con, and it was fantastic. Borderlands is one of my favorite IPs for a video game, and the board game did not disappoint whatsoever. It is priced pretty high, but I'll tell you this much, it is completely worth it if you like any game like Gloomhaven, Frosthaven. The Borderlands board game really makes you feel like you're playing your character. It has super unique ways of losing your HP, getting HP, losing abilities, utilizing your character, and I really hope to see that they make some expansion to bring out some other characters that were playable in the first 3 games. I believe there's only 4 playable characters to start with, and they're each from a different Borderlands game, which I think is super cool. None of my mains were in the game, but that's one of the reasons I'm excited to see an expansion so I can play as one of my mains from the 3 Borderlands games. In short, this is just a quick list of some of the best video game board games I've played, and I've played a good amount of them. This is just a reminder to not be shut off to any video game turned into a board game. Some of these IPs really are worth playing. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. If you want to join our monthly board game giveaway, this month we're giving away a lot of our Gen Con promos. Go to the link in the description below, or go to gamingcaravan.com and press on the monthly giveaway form. Once you join our newsletter, you'll be signed up to win whatever our board games or Gen Con promos. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. We just hit 700 people on our Facebook group. If you want to be part of that, again, look in the link in the description, or go to facebook.com and type in Gaming Caravan. Peace out, God bless, have a great day, guys, and I hope to see y'all at our monthly event, August 26th, here on East Colonial in Orlando, Florida.